Hi, welcome to episode 77 of 365 of season 2 of A Couple of Things. Today, I'm going to be answering a question that I received a very long time ago. I found it in my Google Drive. And the question is, for someone who doesn't have a clear career path and doesn't really know what I'm good at, how do I navigate life after school? When I read this question, the first thing that came to my mind was, what do I do when I don't know what to do? And that's an interesting place to be in, also very scary. But the first thing I think is, if you don't know what you're good at, or if you think you don't know what you're good at, the first thing you can do is you can ask people around you what they think you're good at. What are the things that they associate with you when you think of you? What do they think you are knowledgeable about? And then you can also examine yourself and think about what are the things that people ask you for help with often. What are the things that you're finding yourself helping a lot of people do many times repeatedly? Those things can give you a kind of picture into something that you're good at that you may not even know that you're good at, because sometimes we have these spots where we don't really know what we can do. It's not because it seems so easy to us. It's not registered in our consciousness as this is a thing. This is an important thing that is a skill that I can use that I'm great at, until somebody else points it out to you to say, oh, do you know you're really good at this? So yeah, first exercise I would say is to ask people closest to you questions about what you think you're good at, what they associate with you with, and also a reflection exercise where you think about what are the things that people ask me about the most, or things that I help people do the most. This question was sent to me some time ago, so I don't know if the person is still in school. But if you're still in school and you don't know what you're good at, it gives you room to figure out what you're good at. So explore things, go online, look for courses, whether free courses, anything that remotely sparks your interests, whatever it might look like, whatever it may be. Look for courses online, try your hand at things, and see what sticks for you. Go to community meetups, join webinars, learn about the possibilities that exist, really, because you don't know until you try, right? So explore. And even if you finish school, you can also still explore. And my recommendation then is, if you're not pressed financially, like you don't have a lot of financial responsibilities, or you're okay where you are, maybe you live with your parents and you're not there's no pressure for you to contribute financially in your home, then you have a bit more room, and then you can take your time to explore opportunities, apply to any kind of job that remotely sparks your interest, that you have the skills for, or things that align with maybe what you studied in uni, and see what happens. Like, how I got my first job was not something that I was looking for, oh, I want to work in this industry or whatever. It's just something that happened. I happened to stumble across and stumble into, and it has become a 7+ year career where I've done really great things in it. So a lot of people think that you must have your whole life planned out from before you finish uni for you to have a path, but that's not everybody's journey. Some people, they stumble along the way by trying out different things, and they find something in that process, which is what happened to me. I started out with writing, social media management, content management, content creation, all those kinds of things. And as I kept doing things, I stumbled into a new thing, and now I've been here for over 7 years. So the tip here is to explore as much as you can. And while it may sound wild, take the first opportunity that you see that doesn't make your skin crawl. Like, if you're not entirely averse to it, just take the first opportunity you see. Because that way, then you can start filtering, oh, I like this, I don't like this. These are the things I like about this. And it gives you a frame of reference of something that you're good at and something that you like. And then it can help you with searching for stuff in the future. And depending on your context, opportunities do not have to be like a full-time job. So if somebody is looking for somebody to work on a project with them, somebody puts out a tweet or a post on LinkedIn or whatever, like, I'm looking for somebody to do 1, 2, 3 ABC. If anything about it remotely interests you, no matter how remote the interest is, anything about it remotely interests you, put your hat in the ring for it, apply, reach out to people, ask to be involved, even if it's volunteering, right? Again, if money is not an issue and you have the room to do free work, which is not something that I recommend often, but if that is something that you need to do it to explore and to find things that you're interested in. If you're still in uni, maybe a bit easier because there's typically less pressure. I know different people have different contexts, but typically less pressure financially. And if you can freelance, volunteer, find things to explore and figure out what you like doing and what you're good at, because most of the time you don't really know what you're good at until you start doing things, and you can become good at things that you're not quote unquote naturally good at. So until you actually start doing things, whether in your own free time, by volunteering, by applying to jobs, then you won't really know what you're good at or what you like. So to wrap it up, if you feel like you don't know what you're good at, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do career wise, and you're trying to figure that out, the first thing that I would suggest is to ask people questions. Ask them questions about how they perceive you, what they think you're great at, all those kinds of things. And then also reflect, do a bit of reflection by yourself of what things people ask you about the most, or ask you for help with the most, or ask you to teach them, or ask you to help them with. That gives you a kind of signal into what you're good at. Then the second thing you can do is you can explore by volunteering, by freelancing, by taking courses online, whether free or paid, by putting your hand up for any kind of opportunities that you see around you, whether it's full-time, freelance, part-time, volunteering, whatever kind of opportunity, to explore things and that way uncover and discover the things that you can be good at or that you're already good at, because everything is a learning process. You learn everything and you can learn to be good at something even if you're not good at it now. And I would also say that you shouldn't worry too much about a career path, because for most people, their career paths tend to change and shift and look like a zigzag rather than a straight line. So don't worry too much about that. Just focus on finding opportunities around you and doing your best with that, so that then you can get more opportunities. Also, I'm going to link in the show notes an article that I read some time ago, which I think can be also very relevant here, which is called How to Do Things If You're Not That Smart and Don't Have Any Talent. So you might find that useful as well. Good luck. Bye. Hi. Please submit a question through the link in the show notes, and I will do my best to answer on the podcast. Bye. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of A Couple of Things. If you enjoyed this episode or found any part of it insightful, don't forget to share with your friends on your social media, and be sure to leave a comment or a review if you can on your podcast listening app. Thank you.